Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much everybody for coming back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who's listening right now in the podcast. It is Saturday, March 21st, 2026. I'm here to give you an update regarding the disappearing, the kidnapping, I guess we can say, of Nancy Guthrie, which I think by now we all know that is Savannah Guthrie's mom, who was taken from her home in Arizona. And I believe this happened February the 1st. And like I said, today is March 21st already. There's have been a couple updates today, and I'm going to tell you guys about that. Before I continue, I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's using Spotify to listen to this podcast. Don't forget to follow me there. It helps me as a creator. You can just follow JulissaDesigns podcast. Also, everybody who's watching the video right now on YouTube, thank you guys so much for watching and subscribing. And I want to say thank you so much to everybody who's also using Apple Podcasts. Thank you guys so much for. I see you guys rating the podcast on Apple Podcasts. Thank you so much for doing that. Also, you can subscribe. Every time I will make a new episode, you get also a notification. So in this case, I just cannot believe that this has taken so long, especially when you have so many people searching for her. I don't understand. I really don't understand how the family is moving. How how they are living. Like this is horrible for somebody to take your mom. The way that they took her over, in the middle of the night. This woman who live alone in the middle of the night. There's blood in the front door, and to know that she still has not been returned. This kidnapping has not been resolved. They demand the money request, and they were replying back to them, and then everything has been put on basically on standby, and they still don't have their money back. I really don't know how they're doing. I know Savannah posted something earlier today on her social media. I believe she uses Instagram a lot. She's pleading with the community to return her mom back. She's pleading specifically with the community over there in Arizona. I feel like, somebody close by knows something. I mean, this has to be so well coordinated. Everything that they did has been so coordinated. They knew that she was not going to be home on Sunday night when she went out for dinner to her family, to the other daughter's home. They knew this, and if she did as a routine, um, knowing the popularity of her daughter and knowing, that she lived alone, somebody was watching her movement, and then they got other people involved because now one of the updates I was gonna say is that they are believing that they have maybe five people were involved in her kidnapping. Five physical abductors were, they went to the house and kidnapped her. A coordinating effort. Five people who know exactly what's going on with Nancy, and five of them who are keeping this gruesome secret. Nobody's, nobody's willing to just, come out and say something. Nobody wants to face the consequences of their actions. And it's so crazy because this is normally a kidnapping. There is a ransom note. Whatever is demanded is given, right? And then the person who's been kidnapped is returned to their family. It's been more than a month already. What is going on, right? Because if you're kidnapping somebody and they're giving you what you're, you know, asking, why not finalize everything, follow through, and just return her back to her family. I don't understand that. And I feel like there's something, you know, it's so hard to speculate. It's so hard not to speculate, right? Because there's a lot of things that have been, that have been released about this case. People are speculating and assumptions and things like that. And at the end of the day, guys, the answer is still, she has not been returned to her house, to her family yet. So we all know that everything happened um on February 1st. That was at 1:47 a.m. on February 1st. Nancy Gothrie's doorbell camera was disconnected. So the day before, on January 31st, at 5:32 p.m., she took an Uber to the daughter's house. We don't know. I made videos about how can she be taking an Uber. There was nobody available to bring her to her daughter's house for dinner. But that's just that's like a whole separate discussion, I guess you can say. If she was used to doing that, she felt comfortable doing that, even though she has problem with mobility. That's that's just how they did that, and we shouldn't judge somebody based like how can you not go over there and drive your mom or something. Um, but she got to the house safely, to her daughter's house, and now they're saying they have a video of her in the Uber or photograph of her in the Uber, which is basically the last known photos of her. But I always wonder, where are the photos of her returning home? Because, cases like this, when people, go missing, I guess, even before even knowing that she was kidnapped, um, cases like this, think about another very popular case that happened in 2018, which is the Shannon Watts case, right, in Colorado. We saw the footage of Shannon returning home, and we saw her friend, Nikki, I believe her name was, her friend Nikki waiting, well, her friend Nicole, because I know there's a Nikki involved in this case too. Her friend Nicole is waiting for her Shannon to go inside the house, and you see that indoor camera, you know, you see her, Shannon opening the door and walking in, and Nicole leaving. Where is the footage of Nancy returning home after the dinner and the son-in-law leaving, right? Where is that footage? And then for something like this to happen, and then there's blood in the entrance. So it says here on February 1st, 1:47 a.m., Nancy doorbell camera gets disconnected. At 2:12 a.m., camera footage detects a person and no footage available due to the lack of subscription. And at 2:28 a.m., her pacemaker app disconnected from her phone. This is so coordinated. Definitely somebody knew her. It has to be somebody who knew her, maybe somebody who did work in the house, right? It has to be somebody who was familiar with her, because that, to disconnect the pacemaker from the phone, to disconnect the camera, to know that she was not going to be home, up to $1 million in February 24. And on March 16, they reported that more images were obtained from motion-activated cameras. So I just feel like there's so many people watching this closely, so many people looking for her. I mean, even if it's been over a month already, we're still trying to figure out what happened to her. And I cannot believe, you how many people you have to keep silent, especially if they say about 5 people went there and kidnapped her. There's a lot of people who are keeping silent right now. And it's just crazy that they think that God is just gonna let them be. Everything will be exposed. It's just a matter of time. It's just a matter of time. So today, Savannah, like I said, returned to social media and pleaded with the community to return her. Also today, well, she said here that Guthrie family thanks Tucson, asked people to not forget her mom's case. The Guthrie family on Saturday evening expressed their gratitude to the Tucson community where their missing mother Nancy lived. They asked residents not to forget her case. We are deeply grateful for the outpouring from neighbors, friends, and people of Tucson. We are a family now, the Godry family said in the news. The family asked the community to look once again at camera footage and to search their memory for anything that may assist in the search for her. Not for Nancy Godry, 84 years old. It is possible a member of this community has information that they do not even realize it is significant, the family said. No detail is too small. I feel like, so somebody, it has to be somebody so close by, who is definitely involved in this. Somebody so close by. I just don't understand what kind of kidnapping this is, that if the motive was to obtain the type of financial gain, and the ransom notes were sent, why not follow through on that and just return her back to her family? So then what is the motive then, right? She was reported missing February 1st from her house near the Tucson, and she was last seen the previous night around 9:45 p.m. Police have been searching for a person of interest in the case and released photos of a masked man and a doorbell surveillance video. Some of Nancy Godry's blood was also found on the porch, and investigators believe she was the victim of a targeted crime. It was very targeted, it was very planned out, and there's so many people involved in this. So many people involved. They say, the family said today, this evening, we miss our mom with every breath and we cannot be in peace until she's home. But I don't know how they're doing. This must be heartbreaking for all of them. They also said, one thing I was reading that I'm going to tell you now before I finish is that they are searching a vacant home, could be the suspect staging location near Nancy Godry's home. So near her house, there was a vacant home that they believe was used as a staging location. I do believe somebody was watching her, and they're watching her routine, and they're watching how many people are in the house with her on a regular basis, right? And if she had a home health person who will go in, they will notice, oh, this person comes at this time and they leave at this time, and after that, there's really not much movement. So, in a place like that, even though she had neighbors close by, there was somebody else definitely lurking in and watching all of that and matching, routines and things like this. So the police say, well, an investigator said that properties like vacant houses can be served as a home base or staging location for suspects, allowing them to blend in the area while quietly observing neighbors' routine, like I just said. The insight comes as authorities continue to track down new leads more than 6 weeks into the case, underscoring how even seemingly minor details can take on a new significance as the investigation evolves. So they could look at a location as possible home base or staging location for the suspect. It will provide them a cover story to be at those locations at different times. Staying at a home nearby will offer an opportunity for a suspect or suspects to be a little bit more under the radar, to see the activity of the neighborhood, to see the coming and goings of people, the timing of all the timing of things of all the people. Yep. So hopefully we'll get an answer about this case. So hopefully, we're praying that it's a very positive answer, that she returns healthy, safely back to her family. And I really hope that they continue to look over those photos. And I hope that whoever is involved in this, man, I don't understand how people live their lives these days. Live their lives these days. They think that just because they sworn into secrecy, like God is not watching all of that, and that God is not gonna expose them, and God is gonna bring them to judgment. So, we'll see what happens. If there's an update, I'll definitely come here and give you another update. And let me know, guys, in the comments what you think about this case. I know it's been it's been a couple weeks since I did an update about this case. So let me know, guys, what you think about what happened to Nancy Guthrie, and please keep her in your prayers. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming to the channel. Thank you so much, everybody who's listening in the podcast. Have a good day. Hi everybody, this is Julissa. Thank you so much for coming to the YouTube channel. Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. And I hope to see you in the next video. Have a good day, everybody. God bless.